All right, welcome everyone. Today we're going deep into Nigeria, but not in the way you might expect.
No textbooks this time.
Nope. We're trading those in for something a little more, well, captivating.
Definitely more exciting than a dry textbook.
Exactly. We're going to be exploring Nigeria through the lens of a novel, The Girl with the Louding Voice by Daré.
It's amazing how fiction can open up a whole new understanding of a place.
Yeah. We'll be following Adunni, a young girl in rural Nigeria, and through her story uncovering all sorts of insights about the country.
Cultural nuances, societal challenges.
You know, things you might not find in your typical travel guide.
And speaking of eye-opening insights, the novel starts with a quote that really sets the stage.
Oh, yeah, the one from the Book of Nigerian Facts.
That's it. It talks about how Nigeria is the richest country in Africa.
Thanks to its oil, right?
Exactly. But at the same time, millions of Nigerians live in extreme poverty.
It's a pretty stark contrast.
It really is. I mean, we're talking about a country with a booming economy, outpacing many European nations in terms of GDP.
But then you see this other side, this widespread poverty. It makes you wonder.
It raises a lot of questions. It's like, where is all that wealth going?
Yeah, like if they have all this oil money, why are so many people struggling?
Well, it's a complicated issue. There's the whole resource curse phenomenon.
But what?
Basically, sometimes countries with a lot of natural resources like oil actually have a harder time developing evenly.
Why is that?
Well, it can lead to corruption, mismanagement of resources, and the wealth often doesn't reach the people who need it most.
And that's where Aduni's story comes in, right? We see her family struggling just to get by.
Exactly. It brings that economic disparity to life. It's not just numbers on a page. It's real people facing real challenges.
It makes you really think about the systems at play, the factors that contribute to this inequality.
Absolutely. And it's not just about economics either. It's about culture, tradition, societal expectations.
And like the whole concept of bride prices.
Yes. That was something that really stood out to me in the book.
Me too. It's fascinating how the novel uses that to show the connection between culture and economics.
How something that's so deeply rooted in tradition can also have these real-world economic implications.
And how it can impact the lives of girls like Adunni.
Especially their opportunities and choices.
Aduni's father decides to marry her off because he's struggling financially.
Right. He sees her marriage as a way to secure his family's future.
It's tough to see Aduni's own dreams taking a backseat to tradition and economic necessity.
It highlights the limited agency girls often have in these situations.
But even with all that, Aduni's desire for education is so strong.
Yeah, she sees education as her ticket to a better life, a way to break free.
I love her determination. I mean, she's so clever in the classroom, even though she starts school later than other kids.
She just has this thirst for knowledge. It's inspiring.
It really shows the transformative power of education.
Especially for girls. It's not just about learning facts. It's about empowerment, about opening up opportunities.
And there's research to back that up. Educating girls has a positive ripple effect on families, communities, even entire countries.
Absolutely. Aduni's story is a perfect example of that. It shows that education can be a beacon of hope, a way to overcome obstacles and create a better future.
But it's not just about individual success either. It's about the complex social dynamics at play.
The relationships between characters.
Right, like the whole dynamic between Adunni and Marufu, her much older husband, and his other wives.
Polygamy is a complex issue.
It was really interesting to see how the novel portrayed it, not shying away from the challenges, but also showing the different perspectives.
And it makes you think about our own preconceived notions. We have to be willing to listen to different perspectives, understand different cultures.
Exactly. And through these interwoven stories, these glimpses into different lives, we get a much richer understanding of Nigeria's cultural tapestry.
It's like peeling back the layers, uncovering the complexities and contradictions that make it such a fascinating country.
And that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. We're not just getting facts, we're getting a real sense of what life is like in Nigeria.
Through the eyes of someone who's living it.
And that's a powerful way to learn, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's about connecting with the human stories behind the headlines.
And that's what we're all about here. So stay tuned, because we're just getting started with our deep dive into The Girl with the Louding Voice.
There's so much more to uncover, so many more insights to discover.
It's going to be a journey, that's for sure, but I have a feeling it's going to be one worth taking.
I agree. I can't wait to see where it leads us.
Me too. So buckle up, everyone, because we're going deep.
Deep into the heart of Nigeria.
And into the power of storytelling.
And the human spirit.
Let's go.
And that's where Aduni's journey takes a turn, From the quiet countryside
To the bustling city.
to Lagos, it's a whole different world.
Yeah, like stepping into a completely different reality.
It really highlights that urban-rural divide you see in so many countries.
On one side, you have this sleepy village life, and then bam, you're in this megacity.
Lagos is a fascinating mix, though. Skyscrapers and slums,
A city of extremes.
representing the complexities of Nigeria's growth and inequality,
It's like two sides of the same coin, right? The allure of opportunity,
but also the harsh realities of poverty.
the struggle to survive in this overwhelming urban landscape.
And Adunni experiences it all. She arrives in Lagos, wide-eyed and a little bit terrified.
I can only imagine it's a sensory overload compared to where she comes from.
But it's through Mr. Kola, remember him?
Her father's friend.
He connects her with Big Madam, this wealthy businesswoman.
Talk about a contrast in lifestyles.
Big Madam is a really interesting character, ambitious, successful.
But also kind of lonely, I felt.
Yeah, there's a vulnerability to her, especially in her relationship with Big Daddy.
Their marriage is a whole other story.
Full of secrets and tension.
You get these glimpses of Big Daddy's darker side.
The drinking, the gambling, the hints of violence.
It's unsettled.
Showing that even in the lap of luxury, things aren't always what they seem.
And Adunni working as a housemaid in that environment, she's exposed to a whole new set of vulnerabilities.
Domestic work, especially for the young girls, it can be a very precarious situation.
Totally. They're reliant on their employers, isolated from their families.
And often subject to exploitation.
It's heartbreaking to see how Big Madam treats Adunni.
The constant belittling, the punishment.
Like punishing her for eating in the kitchen.
It's dehumanizing.
It really highlights those power imbalances we were talking about.
The class divisions, the gender inequalities, the ways poverty makes people vulnerable.
But even in this darkness, there are those glimmers of hope, right?
Like Kofi the Ghanaian chef.
He's like a mentor to Adunni, offering a different perspective on life in Lagos.
He sees her potential, her desire to learn,
Yeah.
and he encourages her.
It's through him that she learns about the scholarship for domestic workers.
A chance to break free.
That scholarship becomes her beacon of hope.
Her chance to pursue an education.
But it's not easy.
No, she needs a reference, a guarantor.
She has to write an essay about herself, which seems impossible at first.
Remember, she's still learning English.
It's a huge challenge.
But that's where Miss Tia enters the picture.
Big Madam's friend.
She represents a more modern, progressive side of Nigeria.
Yeah, Miss Tia is an amazing, educated independent.
A real role model for Adunni.
And she sees something special in Adunni, recognizes her potential.
She agrees to be her reference and helps her with her English.
Their relationship is so heartwarming.
It's about female solidarity mentorship.
Women supporting women.
They even go to the market together, these two very different women finding common ground.
It's a reminder that even in a big city like Lagos, human connection can thrive.
But just as Adunni's hope starts to grow, things take a dark turn.
Yeah, Big Daddy's behavior escalates.
It culminates in a horrifying assault.
It's a stark reminder of the dangers girls like Adunni face.
The vulnerability, the lack of protection.
And then there's the mystery of Rebecca, the other housemaid who disappeared.
The rumors about her pregnancy.
The unanswered questions.
It creates this chilling undercurrent of fear and uncertainty.
It makes you wonder what really happened.
And whether Big Daddy or even Big Madam were involved.
It's a reminder that even in a modern city, darkness can hide in plain sight.
And then comes the news about the scholarship.
It's a mix of emotions, relief anxiety, fear.
A turning point in Adunni's journey. Adunni getting this news right when everything else is falling apart around her.
It's such a powerful moment. She doesn't give up, though.
No, she keeps fighting for her dream.
And I think that's what's so inspiring about her. She doesn't let the bad stuff break her.
She finds ways to cope, to process her emotions.
Like when she starts writing down her experiences.
That's a turning point for her.
Yeah, it's like she finds her voice through writing.
It's not just about venting her feelings. It's about expressing herself, owning her story.
And it's more than just putting words on paper. It's about empowerment, right?
Exactly. Literacy gives you the power to articulate your experiences, to make yourself heard.
Which she definitely does when Miss Tia comes to take her away from Big Madam's house.
Big Madam's not happy about that. I would tell you.
Oh, that confrontation is intense. It's like a battle of wills between these two strong women.
They both want control. They both want agency in a world that tries to limit them.
And in that moment, Adunni finds the courage to speak her truth.
About Big Daddy, about the cracks in their seemingly perfect marriage.
It's a risky move, but she doesn't back down.
And it seems to shake Big Madam. It's like she didn't realize how much Adunni had seen.
It makes you wonder what else might be hidden beneath the surface.
And then Big Madam reveals that she received a letter from Rebecca.
The missing housemaid.
But she destroyed it without reading it.
What? Why would she do that?
It's strange, right? It makes you question her role in all of this. Was she complicit or just willfully ignorant?
And then Adunni remembers seeing blood on that letter.
Oh, that's chilling. It adds a whole other layer to the mystery.
It makes you think that something terrible might have happened to Rebecca.
It's a reminder that justice isn't always served, that sometimes the truth remains hidden.
But even with all of that hanging over her, Adunni chooses to focus on the future.
She leaves with Miss Tia, ready for a new beginning.
It's bittersweet, of course. She's leaving behind a part of her life.
But she's also embracing the possibilities that lie ahead.
And that's what makes this story so powerful. It's a story about resilience, about overcoming obstacles, about finding your voice.
It's about the importance of education, the power of hope, and the strength of the human spirit.
If Adunni's journey could teach us one thing about Nigeria, it's that even in the face of adversity, there's always hope.
That behind the headlines, there are real people with real stories that deserve to be heard.
And that by listening to those stories, by understanding different perspectives, we can create a more just and compassionate world.
Adunni's story is just one of many, but it's a powerful reminder of the challenges and the triumphs that shape lives in Nigeria.
It's a reminder that we should never stop learning, never stop seeking understanding, and never stop fighting for a better future for everyone. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned something new and were as moved by Adunni's story as we were.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you, and we encourage everyone to pick up The Girl with the Louding Voice to experience Adunni's journey firsthand. Until next time.